wants you. We can bring it on the floor. Never danced like this before. We don't talk about it.
Hey guys, what is cracking? We are back today with another episode of a series that hasn't been a part of our channel for a while now, but you know, it never garnered the most attention, but I personally am a very big fan of this series. I kind of like it, and like it is a series that takes a lot of work, and it's like kind of one of my lower reward for effort put in kind of series, but it is something I enjoy, and I think the people that enjoy the series like do come back and check it out, so I figured I would freshen up the content on the channel a little bit, go back to some of the stuff we used to do, and so without further ado, today we're going to be attacking the flying type analysis. Looking at the history of the flying type, previous to the physical special split of Generation 4, all flying attacks were considered physical. There are 93 flying types in the game, making up 12.9%, which makes it the third most common type. Judging based on how common Pidgeys are, like, this should come as no surprise to anybody, how common that like first bird type. But another interesting fact is until Tornadus of Generation 5, there are no pure flying type Pokemon. There actually aren't even a lot of Pokemon that Tornadus is the only pure flying type, and the only Pokemon that has flying as its primary type. The rest are dual type, obviously. Only one that has flying as a primary type is actually Noibat and Noivern. All the other ones are normal and then flying. Things like Swellow, and like Pidgeot or something, those ones that you think of, oftentimes normal and then flying. Flying is actually a much more common secondary type. But looking at the stats, it's not really anything too stellar overall, honestly, but the one stat that does stand out is the speed stat, which is honestly not surprising. Flying types are known for being a very fast type, with some solid offensive presence, but not a whole lot of bulk, and this can very easily be seen from the stats in front of us. Looking at the offensive and defensive viability of the typing, we've got 3 super effective hits, which is Bug, Fighting, Grass, and 3 Pokemon that take 1/2, which is Electric, Rock, and Steel, with no Pokemon that make it immune. This makes it overall a really actual great flying. Flying type is actually considered a really great offensive typing because types that have no immunities are really valuable, just because they're more easily spammable. And you also do hit some common things very effectively. Electric, Rock, Steel are also fairly common though, so I was hesitant to give it a high rating, but I ended up giving it a 7 out of 10 for its offensive viability. Looking on the defensive side, we've again got some. We resist everything we hit super effectively, which is kind of funny. Which is Bug, Fighting, Grass, and then we are taking double damage from Electric, Ice, and Rock, with an immunity to Ground. A ground immunity coming out of your flying type is actually super useful, which is really great, like in a lot of situations. But unfortunately, it's not a lot of flying types. I should say most flying types aren't able to capitalize on it a whole lot because a lot of ground types tend to be bulkier, physically defensive Pokemon, or just generally bulky Pokemon overall. And flying types struggle to do damage to them because of that. So even though they can switch in, they can't really usually do a ton of damage back. Because it is for these reasons I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10 for defensive typing, because it does come with a really useful immunity and a couple cool resistances, but overall it's going to be not the greatest, honestly. It's pretty easy to take advantage of with 3 common weaknesses. Looking at the top stats was actually very interesting for this type, and that's because while the overall stats of this type are not particularly stellar, for some reason the top stats in every single category are like out of this world, which is I was shocked by. But coming in the top HP stat is Drifblim with an astonishing 150 HP stat, which is massive. It's crazy. I don't know, like, these flying types all have crazy stats in some place or another, I guess. Because, like, a lot of them, but overall, I guess they're just not that good. The top attack stat is Mega Pinsir, with a 155 attack stat. What's even cooler about Mega Pinsir is that Aerolate boosts its potential attack power even further with a 30% boost, making it dominant Pokemon. Skarmory is the top defensive Pokemon, with coming in at a great 140 physical defense, which makes it probably the most defensive, like the most predominant defensive wall in the OU tier, if not one of the most predominant physically defensive walls in the OU tier. On the special attacking side, we've got Mega Charizard Y coming in with a powerful 159 special attack set. Funny enough, that Charizard almost never utilizes its flying type stab, rather relying on Fire Blast with Under Drought for that extra punch, and then coverage moves tend to be like Solar Beam, like Focus Blast or something. So very rarely actually even runs a flying stab. We in the special defense slot we've got Lugia. Lugia is I think 154 special defense I want to say. Not positive. I think it's 154 though. That's a mass special defense that even further augmented by multi-scale, which allows it to take one hit guaranteed from basically take half damage and take most attacks guaranteed from full health. Finally, coming to the top speed stat is Ninjask with a like insane 160 speed stat, and then couple that with speed boost, and this thing is basically the fastest Pokemon in the game because it just boosts up so fast. Deoxys speed, basically outspeed Deoxys speed after honestly like I think like a turn or two, like a single turn, you're already outspeeding Deoxys. So this thing is probably could be safely considered the fastest Pokemon in the game. And it is so fast. 160 speed plus speed boost. Unfortunately, the rest of its stats are really not as stellar. Looking at legendaries, there are actually a lot of flying type legendaries. There are actually a lot of flying type legendaries, which is surprising, not surprising. But in Generation 1 alone, you had the original triple bird trio. This was Moltres, Articuno, and Zapdos. I don't really know what they're supposed to represent. I think they all kind of represent some kind of mythological beast of times past, kind of like an ice bird of some sort, I guess. And then the Thunderbird of Native American lore, and the Phoenix, I guess. But like I don't really know what they represent. A lot of legendaries are like the legendary Pokemon of blank, and I don't know what this is. These are the legendary Pokemon of. I think in Generation 1 they really didn't have that much thought put into like the lore behind the Pokemon. Generations 1 and 2. So in Generation 2 we saw two more flying type legendaries. These ones were the cover mascots actually, and they were Lugia and Ho-Oh, both really stellar Pokemon in their own right. Ho-Oh being a great offensive Pokemon with a lot of natural bulk and awesome abilities in Regenerator, and Lugia having great ability in multi-scale and a lot more bulk, which makes it a really viable defensive Pokemon. So both, again, great Pokemon with sharing the flying type. In Generation 3, we have the King of the Skies himself, Rayquaza, the founder of Anything Goes. Rayquaza is, the flying, for that trio of Hoenn, which is Pokemon of Land, Pokemon of Sea, Pokemon of Air, and Rayquaza is the crowned King of the Skies, I suppose. In Generation 5, we took a break for Generation 4, but in Generation 5 we got revealed another trio of flying type legendaries. These were the incarnate forms, and then there's their respective Therian forms, but there's Landorus, Thundurus, and Tornadus. It's worth noting that Tornadus has only one type, while the other two have two types each. These are three really great Pokemon, actually. Finally, in Generation 6, we've been released with Yveltal. Yveltal is a dark flying type, and it kind of symbolizes death in the Pokemon world, which is kind of dark. Kind of really dark for a children's game, actually. But yeah, it essentially symbolizes death in the Pokemon world. It's great physical, like offensive and defensive Pokemon, honestly. Looking at competitive Mons, specifically within the OU tier, we've got a lot. That's what I'm going to say right now. So hopping right into it, gotta say, I have a lot to talk about now. We've got Gliscor. Gliscor's with Toxic Heal, it makes it like have a lot of great bulk with a good typing and Toxic Heal, allowing it to essentially function really effectively in both defensive and offensive roles. Mega Pinsir is one of the best Megas in the game, in my opinion. We have both great offensive and with great offensive potential in both wall breaking and cleaning. Thundurus is a great anti-offensive Pokemon. It's insane wall breaking power, combined with Prankster, Thunder Wave, and just use of Prankster in general, and then great coverage makes it a force to be reckoned with. Tornadus T is one of the top Pokemon in OU without a doubt, being probably the defining example of an offensive pivot with a fantastic move pool and a great ability to boot. Talonflame has dominated the OU tier since its reveal in Generation 6. It's basically been crowned Smogon Bird because and essentially what puts it in that spot is an awesome defensive typing combined awesome offensive typing combined with a Gale Wings, which gives priority to all its flying type attacks, giving it one of the most powerful revenge killing tools in Priority Brave Bird in the game. Also being able to run really cool defensive sets as far as Stallbreaker Talonflame goes. We've got Landorus T. Landorus T introduced in Gen 5 is another great versatile Pokemon as far as offense and defensive goes. It can run Scarf, it can run Dual Dance, it can run defensive, it can run anything you want really. And Intimidate is an ability that really bolsters its ability to either set up or become defensive. Gyarados is another not as widely seen. I think it actually dropped to UU recently, but it is a great defensive Pokemon, honestly, along with a great offensive Pokemon. It runs really cool DD sets, along with great Dragon Tailing sets, and Intimidate plus a good deal of natural bulk really helps it bolsters its ability to do what it wants. Charizard Y is probably the dominant special wall breaker of the OU tier, and it's just a great Pokemon overall, but again, unfortunately, doesn't really use its Flying Stab very often. Skarmory is probably, again, one of the best defensive walls in the OU tier, capable of really taking on a lot of punishment with a great defensive typing and great amount of physical bulk, and then being able to roost off the damage. Zapdos is a Pokemon that also has recently dropped to UU, but Zapdos is a really great Pokemon, actually, between really great offensive potential if you want to go down that road, and or really great defensive potential if you want to go down that road. A cool defensive typing combined with a cool defensive typing combined with the ability to roost off damage is definitely something very viable. Finally, we've got Dragonite. Dragonite is the Gen 1 classic, capable of really running either really effective choice band sets or dragon dancing sets. The choice is really up to you. Looking at abilities that flying types are exclusive to, there's not a whole lot, but there are quite a few like that are worth mentioning. Air Leaf being the most offensive of all of them. All normal type moves become flying and are boosted by 30%, seen on Mega Pinsir and Mega Salamence specifically. Delta Stream is the signature ability of Mega Rayquaza, and it nullifies all flying type weaknesses. Gale Wings is the signature move of the Talonflame line, and gives all flying type moves priority 1. Big Pex is not really actually a competitive ability at all, but it perfects Pokemon defense lowering attacks. Multiscale is signature of Lugia and Dragonite, and damage received is halved when it's at 100%. Looking at competitive moves, there are quite a few of these though. Hurricane is 110 base power, 70% accuracy, 50% confusion chance move, really great special attack, probably the best special attack on for all flying type Pokemon, with 100% accuracy in rain, which is makes things like Tornadus T really great options to use on rain teams. Acrobatics is another good option, 55 base power, and it's a physical move, but the power doubles with no held item, so it makes it really cool on Pokemon such as Citrus Berry or just no held item at all. Air Slash is cool. It's a slightly more reliable move with a little more distribution, I think, than Hurricane. 75 base power with 95% accuracy and a 30% flinch chance. Brave Bird is probably the most seen flying type move, offensive flying type move, with 120 base power and is a physical move with a 1/3 recoil damage. Defog is another really widely seen, this time on more of a utility type role. It removes hazards from the field on both sides and removes foe screens. Roost is another really popular defensive move on flying types, and you lose your flying type for 1 turn. If you are only a flying type, which is nothing, you become just a normal type, but there are no just flying types that learn Roost, because Tornadus does not learn Roost. But then from there you recover 50% of your health back. Anyways, I hope you guys. Oh, actually, Tailwind, yeah, doubles your team speed stat for 5 turns. Sorry. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Tell me if you want to keep seeing more of them. Tell me if you don't. Just let me know in the comment section below. As always, leave a comment, rate, subscribe, all that great stuff. It's always really appreciated. And I will see you guys later. Kraken Nation out. Like higher offensive Pokemon as the only real like anything faster than Starmie and Raikou that could take on Landorus will honestly become a problem very fast for you. Things like